From here on out, the games matter. District play gets underway tonight across the state of Texas, and no bigger matchup than this one right here. Two 3-0 state-ranked teams square off as 17th-ranked Prosper visits number 6 Denton Guyer. Next on Friday Night Football. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Denton. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison here with you once again, and this one should be an awful lot of fun, Heckma.
No, it really is, and one that I've definitely been looking forward to. Someone's O must go, and you have two undefeated teams matching up here today in Denton, and man, this is exciting.
Two of the hottest teams in the state, both of them starting off 3-0, both of them beating really good teams early on this season.
Oh, absolutely. And when you talk about the Prosper Eagles, they have been rolling and going through some really formidable opponents, but tonight's matchup, this is a heavyweight contest.
Meanwhile, these are two teams that have met quite a bit recently. This is the 5th time these two teams are playing in less than 2 calendar years, both in district and in the regional final each of the last 2 years. Now again tonight. Guyer, though, has won all 4 of those meetings, 3 of them in really, really close football games.
Well, I would love to say that there's some bad blood, but this is kind of one-sided. So Prosper is the team that really wants to get some revenge and get a victory here tonight, especially knowing that in their district, they have to get a win here in order to get seeding in the playoffs.
We saw Prosper pull an upset last year right here on our Friday Night Football air against Allen, snapping that 72-game district win streak. They're going to try and pull another upset tonight and knock off one of the very best teams in the state. In order to do so, they're going to need a big game out of our player to watch from the Prosper Eagles. That's their quarterback, Harrison Rosar.
Yeah, he is game time ready. He's one of those players that at 6'1", 185 pounds, he has been leading this offense. And I'll take one out of the page of Mike Leslie. Why hasn't this kid gotten more offers? He is definitely a Division I prospect, and more teams or more schools are going to see that here tonight.
He's also a baseball player, and that's part of why. He's had a lot of time spent in the offseason playing baseball. He's a very good pitcher, and that I think is maybe taking him off of the recruiting path just a little bit. Teams should be noticing, though, what this kid is doing on the football field. Teams are absolutely noticing what Jackson Arnold has been doing on the football field the last couple of years. 5-star prospect on his way to Oklahoma.
Mike, in the state of Texas, I think everyone knows that there are a lot of quarterbacks here in the state. Jackson Arnold is just going to be another one in the long litany, a line of those great quarterbacks. You know, with being a 5-star quarterback, you would think that he'd be a guy that, get the big head a little bit. When we talked to his head coach, he talked about all of his intangibles, his arm, his legs, but last but not least, his leadership skills and the way that he's leading, not only in the classroom, but also on the field. He's a great kid and can't wait to watch him tonight.
They hold an Elite 11 camp for the 11 best quarterbacks in the country every summer. Jackson Arnold was at that camp and won MVP. He's that good. There are 29 matchups of undefeated teams across the state this weekend. This may be the best matchup of all of them. Prosper and Denton Guyer. Kickoff when we return on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next up, 2 of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA Plus.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Politics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans. Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand. This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else. Not to brag, but just to brag a little bit. Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines. Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads. And still counting.
Sometimes, parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next up, two of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA+.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Politics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans. Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand. This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else. Not to brag, but just to brag a little bit. Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines. Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads. And still counting.
Sometimes, parties can tend to go on slightly longer than planned. For Izzy, that's not a problem at all, since she can now catch the 4, 5, 6, or even 10 p.m. newscasts after they air on the new WFAA+. Party on, kids. Are you a consummate multitasker like Chris Lawrence? Cooking, well, attempting dinner for the family while also craving a dose of news? Now you can chop and cook while still tuning in to any live newscast on the new WFAA+.
Your essential local news and weather for free. The WFAA mobile app. Download now.
To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next up, two of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA+.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
From C.H. Collins Athletic Complex in Denton, WFAA proudly presents Friday Night Football as the Denton Guyer Wildcats host the Prosper Eagles. Head coaches tonight for the Prosper Eagles, their head coach Brandon Schmidt in his 7th year with the Eagles, 57 and 22 in that span. Meanwhile, for Denton Guyer, head coach Reed Heim, first year as the head coach, was a key piece of the staff under Rodney Webb the last couple of years after they came over from Rockwall. Prosper's captains this evening: Hunter Summers, Braden Reimer, Luke Johnson, and Jonah McClendon. For Denton Guyer, Kalen Austin, Brendan Bradshaw, Whit Coleman, and Brady Scott. Guyer won the toss and elected to receive, so right out of the gates, Heckma Harrison, we get to see Jackson Arnold and this Denton Guyer offense go against this very good Prosper defense.
Hey, this is what we've been waiting for. We've been asking for this matchup, and finally it's here. So I like the fact that they're starting on offense. That means that, hey, they can get all the jitters out immediately, get their number one, get their quarterback on the field, and man, let's get this party started.
Out to kick it away for the Prosper Eagles, Josh Kennedy, the senior kicker. Deep to return for the Denton Guyer Wildcats, Peyton Bowen. A line drive kick into the end zone, and a touchback, and out comes Jackson Arnold and this Denton Guyer Wildcats offense. Arnold, the 5-star prospect on his way to Oklahoma, a fantastic young quarterback. Already on the year, one of the top 10 passers in the area, 869 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, Heckman, not a single interception.
Comes as advertised. And I tell you what, Oklahoma fans, if you're locked into this game, I want to be the first to tell you, or many to tell you, that you got yourself an athlete right here in number 11.
He's got 3 wides to the near side, swings it this way for Sutton Lee, chased out of bounds after a pickup of maybe a pair of yards.
You know, for this Prosper defense, they have got to get up. It doesn't take much for them to get up to this challenge that they have in front of them, because they know the kind of athlete that Jackson Arnold is. Man, he can get hot quickly.
Quick throw near side through the hands of Landon Sides. Both he and Sutton Lee were right there in the area. Heck, with some confusion. I can't imagine that was the route tree and the route concept that they had drawn up.
Yeah, let's say a little bit of early miscommunication. 2 receivers in the same area. I'm almost positive that that pass was for his BFF, favorite target, Landon Sides.
So 3rd down and 9 right out of the gates here. Play action. Jackson trying to step up in the pocket, chased down from behind, will not get away. Davis Perkins coming through for the tackle, and Prosper with a quick 3-and-out forced here of this Denton Guyer offense.
And look at Davis Perkins. He is the spy on Jackson Arnold, spying him the whole time, man. And look, I will say this to you: Jackson Arnold is a lot faster than you think. He uses his arms, but he also can get away from you.
Couldn't get away, though, right there from Davis Perkins, and it is 4th down, rather, and 8. And out to punt it away here for the Denton Guyer Wildcats is Josh Kennedy. Beg your pardon, is Landon Sides. Deep to return, Carson McClendon. Short kick will bounce across midfield, and McClendon will pick it up, immediately swarmed by 2 of the Denton Guyer Wildcats coverage team. And right there is where we see the Prosper Eagles offense begin at the 42-yard line, and out comes Harrison Rozar.
Now, how surprised were you that Guyer came out and went 3-and-out?
33 seconds they had the football, and that is it. Not what you would have expected right out of the gates, but credit to this Prosper defense. We talked about this before we came on the air, Heck, but how good this defense is, how great they have looked early on this season. Another example of it right there on the first series of the football game.
No, absolutely.
So it's Rozar with a chance to perhaps strike first. Hands off here for Trevor Montaigne, trying to get the corner. Close to midfield, a pickup of 7 on the first play from scrimmage for the Eagles offense.
Yeah, that's a good job on the outside. The block by Braden Reimer, giving his running back the ability to catch that edge. Tell you, without that block, they're not going very far. So that's a good job by Reimer.
2nd down and 3. 2 wides to either side here for Rozar. Quick swing near side. Hunter Summers, that's his favorite target, a young man that they need to get the football a lot. But good job by the Guyer defense to bottle him up there. He gets across midfield, a pickup of 2, but it's 3rd and 1.
As much as we've been talking about Jackson Arnold, guy that I'm really excited to get an opportunity to see. Well, the Bowen brothers and Eli Bowen, he's big and physical, 5'9", 180 pounds, man, but he plays that cornerback position the way it is supposed to be played. Only a junior, and I'm telling you, the offers are coming for this young man.
13 of them in total, including Notre Dame, where his older brother Peyton Bowen is committed to. Both of them 4-star recruits. Imagine that in the same household, 2 4-star prospects. Rosar got him to jump there. Palumi Alana-Pakun came across the football and they didn't snap it, and now Prosper's going to call timeout here before this 3rd and 1.
This Guyer defense and the way how quick twitch they are up front. When we got a chance to talk to the coach, and he just raved about his defense and talked about the way that he gets these guys out in space. All of his guys are athletes. They can run, quick twitch, and it all starts up front.
It really does. I mean, that is such a key to what they do. And when you look at what this Denton Guyer defense does, it's a scheme that's very similar to Iowa State, very similar to Tulsa. They have 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and then that shell of 5 defensive backs. And their defensive backs are tremendous, not just the Bowen brothers, but also Ryan Yates. They've got talent galore on the back end. But to your point, you need those guys up front that help get the job done and eat up those blocks and keep the opponent from running the football effectively. And at least so far this season, it has worked very well for Denton Guyer.
Yeah, and the team speed is apparent as well. That's something that is going to be glaring. It's definitely, it will be able to show up for all you at home.
3rd down and 1 yard here for Prosper. Handoff up the middle. Maybe got half of the yardage. I don't even think he got that far. The carry there for Braden Reimer does not go far. The tight end lining up there behind Harrison Rosar, and he's short.
That's Ryan Yates coming from his safety position. I don't know what to call these guys. I mean, they're safety, tweener, linebackers, big nickel. I have no idea, but the size of them, 6'2", 200 pounds, coming downhill and getting that stop. And even on 4th and inches, the Prosper Eagles still staying conservative and not going for it.
They decided if we can't get the yard on 3rd and 1, we're not going to try on 4th and 1. And Josh Kennedy out to punt it away. Deep to return, Peyton Bowen. Now a flag at the snap, and the initial signal, I believe, was delay a game. I beg your pardon, false start. And a 5-yard penalty just the same here for the Prosper Eagles offense.
I'm really surprised by that. They're just being conservative. Obviously, just got an inch to go, but not going to go for it here on 4th down.
Kennedy to punt it away. Peyton Bowen deep to return. A wobbly kick up the far side at the numbers. Will bounce and be caught at the 14-yard line down there by the Eagles. And back comes Jackson Arnold and this Denton Guyer Wildcats offense. Arnold, a player that has had a very interesting career over the course of the last 4 years, was thrust into action, Heckma, when he was just a freshman in the state championship game.
This is, you say into the fire and thrive. And you shouldn't say out of the frying pan into the fire, because the first time we saw Jackson Arnold, it was in a state title where Eli Sowers went down in a freshman. 5'11", 170 pounds, goes onto the field to play 3/4 of championship football.
He's 6 foot 200 pounds now and has developed quite a bit in the 4 years rather since, and has become one of the very best quarterbacks in America.
Well, Mike, I was going to get to that. I was going to talk about the muscle that he's put on there. He's a lot different than the young man that took the field at AT&T Stadium, and those 5 stars are just reflecting the good job that he's done as they have a free play here.
Flag at the snap, 2nd down and 9. Throw near side here for Landon Sides. Nice job to squeeze it in a hand fight with Andrew Ward. But the flag will give them the free 5, and you imagine they'll take the flag and keep it 2nd down. Evan Bish, the senior defensive end, flagged for the offside, so 2nd down and 9 will become 2nd and 4 here for the Guyer Wildcats offense.
Can you imagine for Arnold waking up that morning on the state championship and not realizing that he's going to play 3/4 in the state title game? He's lived through it, and I'm telling you, he's better for it.
Another throw near side, and that one was nearly undercut by Andrew Ward. If that throw was on target, it would have been a pick.
It really was, and would have been, but they must see something over here with Andrew Ward, because this is the 3rd time that they've gone over here on this right side to Landon Sides. I know he's his favorite target, but man, they are going right at number 18.
3rd down and 4. Blitz coming off the edge. The handoff here for Yusuf, breaks a tackle and he'll have the first down. Ball came out at the end. They're going to say he was down at the 25-yard line, and that is enough to move the chains.
An inside linebacker, David Perkins. He is right there to make that tackle, but not able to get a stop.
Play action over the middle, complete, and then some here for Sutton Lee across midfield, dragging Carson McClendon into Prosper territory.
How about that? Sutton Lee is definitely suddenly getting past the 50, and it looks like this Guyer offense is moving.
Handoff here, Ahmed Yusuf spinning his way for a pair. We talked about how good Jackson Arnold is. It bears noting just how good this Prosper defense is, though, as well. Look at what they've done over the course of the first 3 weeks of the season. Held Euless Trinity to just 13 points, held Saxe to 14. Last week against then number 8 Rockwall, held them to just 11, and 8 of those came very late in the football game. And right on cue, Luke Johnson with the sack of Jackson Arnold.
You look at that penetration. Like you said, you're talking about them. They must hear you up here, Mike Leslie, because they are playing alignment assignment football, and they're going to have to do this. When you come up against a great quarterback like Jackson Arnold, you cannot guess, because they're playing up tempo and they jump off sides again.
Another free play. Arnold firing near side, got hit quickly again by Luke Johnson. They are making Jackson Arnold feel them here in the early going, but they jumped offside beforehand here, so it'll be 3rd and 6. Dylan Hinshaw, the one offending this time, the senior defensive end, as an offer from Furman. He's been a key piece of this defense for the last couple of years, and now as a senior, one of the real leaders of this program.
Yeah, they're tough up front, and they do a wonderful job. And you look at the job that they've done on the teams that they've played so far, holding these guys to under 20 points of contest.
Arnold's going to take it himself on the quarterback draw. Lowers his shoulder, has the first down. Got hit in the back by Carson McClendon right as he spun at the sticks, but he moves them.
And that's a great job by Jackson Arnold, recognizing that he has a little sliver of daylight. You know that he believes in his running ability and also his arm. But, man, there's that guy again, number 9, Luke Johnson.
This time it's going to be a false start before the snap, so all of that comes off the boards. But it has been a struggle here in the early going for Denton Guyer to run the football unless it's been Jackson Arnold, really. The defensive front here for Prosper has done a nice job in the early going.
Really, and Luke Johnson is giving Isaiah Davis fits.
1st and 15. Arnold tried to draw him off sides, doesn't get him this time. Pressure in his face once again, gets away from it. Now another defender coming, and this time they do get him. Jonah McClendon with the sack. The second time today they get Arnold, both of them on this drive.
I'm loving what I'm seeing right now from this Prosper defense. Every time they get an opportunity to get Jackson Arnold on the ground, they are not whiffing on these tackles, and that is a great job by the 5'11", 200-pound junior making that tackle.
So 2nd down and 19 for Jackson Arnold. 2 wides to either side. He's got Ahmed Yusuf in the sidecar to the right. Pressure again in his face. Rolls near side, flag on the play, throw complete for Sutton Lee, but that looks like it's going to be a hold in the backfield on Ahmed Yusuf.
Boy, and I know Ahmed Yusuf is got to be a little upset about that call, because he did everything he could. Didn't look like he had a grab, but they're going to call him for holding.
And it is Yusuf right here. You see as he gets a hold. Wow, he really didn't get much of a hold there at Dylan Hinshaw.
He got in the way, but not a hold.
I think because he got his hands around the waist of Hinshaw, it looked like he spun him. I think Hinshaw was already doing that as it was. I understand why the flag was thrown. I don't know that Yusuf actually did anything wrong there. Did they get him to jump again? Not quite. No flag flies this time. Thrown near side, tipped away. Nice job at the moment of impact there for Adam Dew to tip it away, and it's 3rd down and 29.
Really shocked right now. Seems like this Guyer offense is kind of out of sorts. Second play that we've seen 2 receivers in the same area. I don't know if it's a miscommunication, but that's the second time that that's happened.
They've got to get to the 26-yard line to pick up the first down. Handoff up the gut will, in effect, make the punt 5 yards longer. The handoff there to Austin Correa. and they get it to midfield. But 4th down and 24. And out comes the punt unit once again for Denton Guyer.
And you have got to give Bill Robertson's group some credit right now, because they have come out of the chute ready to go. And I'm sure Jackson Arnold is over on the sideline just trying to figure out what's going on. They're giving him multiple looks, and he's not able to make those big plays like he's used to.
Landon sides out to punt, low snap, but he scoops it up and gets it away. Carson McClendon calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 22-yard line. But so far, this Prosper defense, as advertised, 2 for 2 in making stops against this high-powered Denton Guyer offense.
Yeah, I mean, they've been stout, and it has started with the job that they're doing up front. Luke Johnson, I really believe that he is getting the party started. He is the catalyst for the stops that they're making. You're not used to seeing this Guyer offensive line get pushed around. They're really the strength of this team. We talk about their defensive line, but their offensive line and their ability to move people. And right now we have an Eagle down on the field.
Looks like that's Andrew Ward, the junior, that is being tended to by the athletic training staff here for the Prosper Eagles. Head coach Brandon Schmidt, 40 yards away from his visiting sideline to tend to his player as well.
And that's Ward. He's been getting a ton of action here in the first quarter. He's been playing a lot on sides, so hopefully he's okay and able to come back in this contest. But he went down holding his knee.
Back on his feet now, but not putting a lot of weight on that left leg.
That doesn't look good at all.
A little more weight as he takes a few steps, so that's at least moderately encouraging, but we'll keep an eye on the status of Andrew Ward the balance of the evening. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Prosper Eagles offense from their own 22-yard line. Early on in this football game, their defense has done a very nice job against Jackson Arnold and this Denton Guyer Wildcats offense. A 3-and-out on the first possession. Had some penalties that helped kind of extend that second drive here for Denton Guyer, but ultimately came up with the stop, Heckma, and giving their offense another opportunity here midway through the first to strike first.
Yeah, well, Prosper really does have to get a drive going to reward this defense that's gotten a great field position and gotten the ball.
Handoff, Prentice Sanders running right, makes a man miss at the line of scrimmage, lowers his shoulder and picks up 5 on the first play of the series.
I love that run from Sanders. Just a zone run, getting outside, puts his foot in the ground and splits 2 defenders. Picks up great yardage to bring up 2nd and 4, maybe 2nd and 5.
Split Jackson Moore and Caleb Rowe right there at the line of scrimmage. Then sets up 2nd and 5. 2 wides to either side. Beg your pardon. A tight end on the right side of the offensive line. Handoff once again for Sanders. Good pursuit this time. What a play in the backfield by Blade Carver.
Blade Carver says enough of this. He shoots the gap and he leaves everyone in his wake. Colin Beasley is trying to get a block on him, but Carver is not gonna he's not gonna have any of it. Blade read that perfectly. That's good film study right there. That's reading and reacting. As soon as you see it, you go.
The gain of 5 on the first play of the series, a loss of 5 on the second play of the series, and it's 3rd and 10 for Harrison Rosar in the Prosper Eagles. 8 minutes gone by here in the opener of district play for each of these two teams. District 5-6A, now a timeout here before the snap, called by Brandon Schmidt. His second timeout here already in the first quarter, Heck.
He's obviously seeing something that he's not liking. He has to be careful, backed up here, not to turn the ball over. This is obviously a passing situation for the Prosper Eagles, but the way that this, you know how advantageous these guys are over for Denton Guyer. Any mistakes you make, they can take it to the house. I mean, their offense is explosive, but their defense is as well. Those guys that are just kind of, lurking out there in the flat, you put a lazy football out there on Bowen and Benford, they'll take it home.
There's no doubt of that. This Denton Guyer secondary, one of the absolute best in the state. Brandon Schmidt from Prosper said when we talked to him earlier this week that it's one of the best high school secondaries he's ever seen.
And that's saying a lot. He's had some really good secondaries.
Just over 1,000 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. We appreciate you joining us here tonight for Prosper and Denton Guyer. Two of the top 20 teams in the state in 6A. Pressure on Rosar. Gets away from it. Across the line of scrimmage, now has to make another man miss. Can't do that. Ball came out there at the end, but they're going to say he was long since down. A gain of 5 or 6 on the play, but Prosper will have to punt.
And look at Harrison Rosar. He's recognizing that pressure and no longer keeping his eyes up the field trying to make a play, because he understands that he has to get positive yardage or the best that he can and get down. They had it all covered up on the back half anyway.
So out comes Josh Kennedy to punt the ball away for the second time tonight. So far, 4 possessions, 4 punts, 2 per team. Nice punt up the far side. Big bounce is going to get past Peyton Bowen. Has to chase it all the way back to his own 10-yard line inside the 5. That's going to roll all the way to the 3-yard line. Mark that down as a 69-yard punt from Josh Kennedy.
Kennedy with a bouncer and roller that flips the field position back to the Eagles. And they pin Guyer down on their own 3-yard line.
Kennedy with a 71-yard punt.
They will mark it at the 3. Josh Kennedy with an absolute bomb of a punt. The huge bounce to get past Peyton Bowen and put Jackson Arnold in the shadow of his own goalpost. 1st and 10 from the 3. Handoff, big hole. Closes up somewhat quickly on Trey Joyner, but not before he picks up 7 on the first play of the series.
Yeah, Trey Joyner with a great run, seeing that massive hole that was opened up by his offensive line.
Now a flag at the snap, and they're going to give back 5 of those yards right here. In fact, they'll give back, well, they are outside the 10, so it will be the full 5. They'll walk it back to the 5-yard line. Becomes 2nd down and 8.
Really surprised by Guyer. I mean, I'm sure they play up-tempo all the time, but they are running this very quickly.
Final 3 minutes here of the opening quarter. Joyner on the carry again, lowers his shoulder, picks up a few more, gets back out to the 11-yard line, and makes 3rd down a bit more manageable. 1,100 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Let us know where you're tuning in from tonight, as on 3rd and 2, the handoff once again for Joyner into the pile. Looks like that'll be just enough to move the sticks. Let us know who you're tuning in to see tonight, where you're watching from this evening. If you got a favorite player on one of these 2 teams, let us know who you think's going to win tonight. We'll try and interact with you guys throughout the course of the game. A shout out to Michael Hall, who says he's tuning in tonight to watch this game while also being in attendance at the South Oak Cliff Parish Episcopal game, which should be a good football game this evening as well.
It's a guy that loves Texas high school football.
There's no doubt of that. 2nd down and 9, and again under pressure is Arnold, and down he goes once again. Malik Sutherland with the sack, the 3rd of the day.
Look at that from Sutherland. That's 2 plays in a row for number 90. And he's coming through with the sack. Really shocked, man. This Guyer offensive line, man, they are getting a ton of penetration by the Prosper Eagle defensive line.
Edward McGowan says he's tuning in from Orlando, Florida tonight. Ken asks, where is this game being played? He says he just enjoys high school football. We are in Denton, Texas tonight, Ken. C.H. Collins Athletic Complex. A just under 12,000 seat stadium for Denton Guyer and Prosper, 2 of the top 20 teams in the state in 6A. Now they set up the screen. Pretty well read by the Prosper defense, but Guyer able to pick up about 4 on the play.
This is awesome right here from Davis Perkins. This is a great play design, because if Perkins doesn't read this, the way that they have this blocked up, they are going to get a 1st down. That's a great job by the junior, 5'11", 215-pound linebacker.
That was 3rd and long, sets up 4th and 8, and now 3 for 3 is this Prosper defense in stopping the Denton Guyer offense. Sides to punt it away. They came after that one, didn't quite get to it, but a wobbly punt up the near sideline will take a Denton Guyer bounce all the way out to the 48-yard line. But in Wildcat territory comes the Prosper offense to start this possession, the best opportunity they have had all evening.
Yeah, this is, and it's all been set up off of that punt that switched the field position. And lucky that got the punt that just happened, got as far as it did. That looked like it was going to die at the 35, which would have given them better field position, but they take over at their 47-yard line.
Comment here from Jonathan Stovall on the YouTube feed saying he knew he had heard that voice before. Heckma Harrison from the Players Lounge podcast for the Dallas Cowboys. We got a Heckma Harrison fan in the comments on YouTube tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in, Jonathan Stovall. We appreciate it.
That's love.
1st and 10 from the 48-yard line here for Rosar. Handoff, Trevor Montaigne running right, trying to get the corner. Undercut nicely. And Denton Guyer cuts that off for maybe a gain of a yard.
Now look at this. They're getting this ball out in the pistol. He's trying to catch that edge. If he can get out there a little bit faster, maybe he can make a play on this. But Eli Bowen gets up and makes a great tackle, only allowing a 2-yard gain. But from the beginning of that play, the way that it was designed, man, that Guyer defense getting up and making a stop, and that was all set up by Eli Bowen.
Through one quarter, scoreless. Both defenses playing very well early on in this football game. Nobody able to find the scoreboard yet on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next up, 2 of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome you back to C.H. Collins Athletic Complex in Denton. A beautiful night here in North Texas. There's 2 really good football teams square off. Nobody able to find the scoreboard, though, in that opening quarter. Heckma Harrison, these 2 defenses really playing some good ball.
Man, well, we both anticipated the fireworks from these offenses, from the quarterbacks, and hadn't been that way at all. Complete stalemate by the defense, and really it's been the Prosper Eagle defense that I think you're most surprised with, pleasantly surprised with. But Denton Guyer it's back to business for them and their defense. But somebody has got to make a play here to bust this game open.
As good as Prosper's defense has been early on this season, it's not a surprise to see them play well, but just against an offense that is this good, to have held them off the scoreboard for an entire quarter is really impressive.
No, it is. It is. And, you know, when I look at this Eagles offense and what they're trying to do, trying to go side to side, it's not going to work against a team that is as fast as this Guyer defense is. This is their forte. They turn and run better than anyone in 6A. So you're going to have to try and go over the top. You have to do some things that get this aggressive defense off balance, maybe setting up a screen, something that's going to get these guys, catch them off balance, because trying to get them to go side to side is not going to get it done.
3rd down and 6 forthcoming here from Rosar in Guyer territory. Not in field goal range yet, though. Rosar, time over the middle, complete for Javon Henry, trying to get away. It's going to be real close. Going to depend on the spot whether he got enough. The far side line judge has him about a yard short.
Boy, look at the speed right there, man. That's chasing you down and not allowing him to get to that marker. It's
Brendan Bradshaw.
Yeah, excuse me.
4th down and 1, they're going to go for it in Guyer territory. Rosar claps for the snap. Now a whistle before the snap. Timeout, Denton Guyer.
Well, you see the chess match being played out right now, Mike Leslie. All right, here we are, 2nd quarter, going for it on 4th down. I believe Prosper should only have one timeout left.
Yes.
And Denton Guyer forced to take a timeout.
That's their first timeout taken in this half.
Right, so that's just basically saying, look, we recognize the alignment that you have set up. We got to do everything we can to stop you from getting the 1st down, because they see the momentum shifting a little bit in Prosper's direction.
So far in this football game, Prosper yet to achieve a first down. A chance to get their first here on 4th down and 1 coming out of this timeout. A couple comments on the YouTube feed. Bob Shorkey says, I hope they show the halftime show. We will indeed bring you the show from the Prosper High School Mighty Eagle Band and the Guyer Wildcat Marching Band, also the Prosper High School Talonets, and the Guyer Wildcat Color Guard will take the field at halftime here on Friday Night Football. We'll bring all that to you coming up in 10 minutes and 47 seconds worth of game time.
Look at these stands, man. It's Friday Night Football. It's back. I know we've gone through the pandemic, all those things, man, but it's just so good to see Friday Night Lights back in the state of Texas.
There's nothing quite like high school football here in Texas. They're going to go Wildcat here. Javon Henry's going to take the direct snap here on 4th and 1. They get him offside. Henry's going to throw the ball. Looking deep up the near sideline for Hunter Summers. It's going to be a first down either way. Knocked away nicely by Peyton Bowen. But the flag will give Prosper a free first down as they draw him offside.
Well, so much for not being able to get a first down. And if however you can get it, you take it, right? And so Prosper, like I said, stealing a little bit of momentum here and getting that first down. Can they get points, though, Mike? That's the biggest thing.
These two teams have played some incredibly close and exciting football games over the last 2 years. We'll tell you more about that when we've got a moment here. But the first down picked up by Prosper via the penalty, their first down of the game. And back comes Harrison Rosar for 1st and 10 at the 34 now in Guyer territory. Motion man is Reimer. Handoff, Montaigne. Had to bow out wide, did a nice job to cut up field and get north and south and pick up 2.
Yeah, I like that from Montaigne. Recognizing if he tries to bend this any further outside, he's going to lose yardage. That's just heads up by the senior running back.
Robert Turner in the comments says he couldn't make it out to the Metroplex this weekend, so he's watching from Cleveland, Texas tonight. Says, go Eagles. Rooting on Prosper tonight. 2nd down and 8 after the pickup of 2 by Montaigne. Reimer cycles right to left. Handoff once again for Montaigne. Taken down in the backfield. Caleb Darthur knifing through.
And they're reading that from the interior. And Darthur, doesn't matter from the linebacker or from the safety. When they read it right, they go. There's no hesitation in this Wildcat defense.
Prosper feels like Josh Kennedy has range out to about 45, maybe 50. Earlier today, the wind was whipping pretty good from our right to left here at the stadium. Looks like it's still going pretty well, so they'd be going into the wind here, which would probably cut down that range by maybe 5 yards or so. So they are not quite in field goal range where they are here at the 35-yard line. 2 wides to the near side here for Rosar. Play action. Good and taken down in the backfield. Olana Pacoon crashing through for the first sack of the day for Denton Guyer.
And that is the one thing that Harrison Rosar could not allow to happen. Getting a sack, losing yards, and now they have to punt the ball away.
The bull rush from Palumi Olana Pacoon right through the chest of Colin Beasley for the sack, and it's 4th and 18.
Olana Pacoon, he is built like a fire hydrant, and 5'11", 285. They might need to put about 15 more pounds on that. God, that's a massive young man.
The younger brother of Dotun Olana Pacoon, who was on this Guyer roster a couple years back. Spiraling kick into the Denton Knight, checks up nicely at the 8-yard line. The punting today from Josh Kennedy has been on point, and Prosper pins Guyer deep once again.
I'm just so surprised at this lack of production on offense for the Wildcats. They have got to get something done. We know how explosive they are. You look at the points that they put on the board coming into this matchup. They're scoring 50 points a contest. Yep. And here they are in the 2nd quarter with a big goose egg up there. Nothing going for either of these teams. And right now, just they need to steal some momentum as the Eagles got things moving, but not able to get on the board.
Guyer with just 4 first downs in this football game. That's number 5. Right up the gut goes Trey Joyner out to the 38-yard line.
Love this run by Trey Joyner. And look at this offense. Now these guys have woken up. And that's the Wildcat offensive line that we're used to seeing, opening up these gaping holes.
They mark him at the 35, a gain of 27 on the first play of the series. They give it to Joyner again, this time stood up by Ethan Higgins, but that 27-yard run more than doubled Guyer's rushing output so far today prior to that carry.
Who needed a run like that? It is Denton Guyer. They needed to relax a little bit and get in rhythm.
Hand off again for Joyner, coming left. Give him 3 or 5, beg your pardon, with the forward progress and falling forward. They're going to give him 5 on the carry all the way down to the, or out to the 44-yard line, and it's 3rd and 1.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, Reed Heim does not mind that spot at all.
No.
3rd and a yard here for Arnold. Handoff once again for Joyner into the pile. Stood up, but he'll have enough for the first down. Davis Perkins there to make the stop, but not before Joyner moves the sticks again.
See this offensive line. Just get down and dirty. This is what they love to do. They like to grind it out on the ground before they go to the aerial assault.
Whistles prior to the snap. Another flag flies in. It's going to be a false start here against Guyer, and that, it bears repeating, has been part of the struggle here early on for Denton Guyer. As good as Prosper's defense has been stopping them of their own accord, Guyer has made their life easier with these penalties.
And the more you watch football, you see with these up-tempo offenses, that's some of the things that are synonymous. Offensive linemen jumping off sides, because as much as the defense is getting tired, your offensive linemen are too.
1st and 15 off the penalty. Handoff up the middle for Yusuf. He'll earn those penalty yards back. Get back to the original line of scrimmage and set up 2nd down and 10. Lots of Sooners fans tuning in tonight to see their 5-star recruit Jackson Arnold take the field. Alex Bryan says Boomer Sooner, says the Denton Guyer offensive line is to give Arnold more time to throw. These Sooners fans want to see what this young man can do, and so far he's been sacked 3 times tonight. Now he's got 4 wides and a tight end in the formation. Now he's going to take it himself on the quarterback draw. Design quarterback run. Jackson Arnold has moved the ball most effectively with his feet this evening and does so again, a gain of 10.
Going back to those intangibles, man, his ability to move and get up the field. I mean, he can do it with his arms, no mistake about it. But his vision and ability to run is awesome as well.
Play action, quick throw far side, complete in the arms of Landon Sides, and a pickup of 4. Malachi Edmonds with the tackle.
And earlier, Andrew Ward went out of the game with a knee injury. Hope he's okay, but he has not come back in. And there's Malachi Edmonds tasked to be lined up man-to-man on sides.
2nd and 6. From right at the 40-yard line in Prosper territory. Nice cut up field by Ahmed Yusuf, and he'll have enough for the first down.
How about that for Yusuf, putting his left foot in the ground, cutting back up, realizing that he had more blocking set up on that hash mark and getting positive yardage.
Now Guyer will hurry things up. Play action here for Arnold. Pressured once again, flushed forward, fires downfield. Tip nearly hung on to, but incomplete as he tried to find Josiah Martin.
And Carson McClendon, good job of pulling up and not, trying to deliver a shot there that may have gotten a 15-yard penalty. But if he keeps his eyes up, and that's a 50-50 ball. You can try and get that interception.
2nd down and 10. From the 34 in Prosper territory. Yusuf with the carry in a big hole, but taken from behind. Nice play by Dylan Hinshaw to kind of hang on for the ride. Otherwise, that's a much bigger gain.
Boy, Hinshaw, that left hand of his must be really strong, because we saw plenty of daylight coming off of that right tackle.
They say not to arm tackle, but when that's all you got to work with, you got to do what you can. Another carry here for Yusuf, another big hole, and another Denton Guyer first down. First time tonight that they've had the offense working like this.
They ran the same play. He said it didn't work the first time, let's try it again. And then as they go back to up-tempo.
And just as Guyer was starting to get things rolling, Brandon Schmidt says, hang on a second, I'm going to give my guys a chance to get a breather here, and calls the timeout. This is the 5th time that these two programs have met over the course of the last 2 calendar years, going back to late October of 2020. They've been in the same district now the last cycle as well as this redistricting. So they have played now, this is the 5th meeting since October of 2020. As you can see right there, 3 of the 4 meetings have been incredibly close. That October of 2020 meeting, Guyer came back to win that on a final second touchdown run from Eli Stowers. They won in triple OT on an Eli Stowers touchdown run in the regional final in January of 2021. Of course, that was the 2020 season that got pushed back because of COVID. And then both games last year were interesting as well. Guyer really laid it to him in the regular season matchup. But then Prosper led that regional final game last December, 14-3 at halftime. Really had control of that game, but credit to Prosper. They inched their way closer and closer and finally overcame them there late in the 3rd, early in the 4th quarter to get a 4th straight win. So as much as Guyer's 4-0 against Prosper all time, they've been some really, really tight matchups.
Yeah, close but no cigar. And the common denominator is the Guyer wins in each of those matchups. They find a way to get a victory versus Prosper. And that's got to make these guys sick. And that's why they've come out and they're like, we are determined to get the victory here tonight.
Out of the timeout, 1st and 10 for Guyer at the 19-yard line. In the red zone, another handoff for Yusuf. Another big hole. Spins his way inside the 10. 1st and goal, Denton Guyer, Ahmed Yusuf, carry after carry, gashing this Prosper defense.
And they have found something over on the right side for Caleb Lovelace and Jacob Fritz.
Give it to Yusuf again inside the 5 as he lowers his shoulder and crashes into Carson McClendon.
This is a good job. And you want to get your offensive rhythm. They go this quick pace offense the way that they have. Just put the ball on the ground and just allow your big uglies to do what they do.
2nd and goal from the 4. Yusuf to the left of Arnold. He'll get the carry again. This time Carson McClendon knifes through and takes him down in the backfield.
I'm sure that wasn't in plans. But number 2, Carson McClendon says, oh, and there's a fumble at the end, and Yusuf able to get the ball back. But, man, way to shut it down. And number 2, the safety, Carson McClendon.
First team all-district a year ago for these Prosper Eagles. And showing a little bit of why right there on 2nd and goal. The loss of 2 drops the ball back to the 6. And now Guyer will call their 2nd timeout here in the opening half.
And I don't want to jinx this at all, but God, this first half seemed like it has gone by fast. I mean, we just got here. What's going on?
It's 7:45 and it's almost halftime.
I slowed down already. God, I have to wait all week for this, and the first half goes by in 45 minutes. Are you kidding me?
Look at these. As you got to look there at the Prosper and Denton Guyer student sections. Prosper student section going with the whiteouts. Guyer going with the camo theme tonight. Both teams hoping their team's going to move to 4-0 this evening and further bolster their claim as one of the very best teams across the state of Texas in 6A.
Mike Leslie, I love it. I love it just to see these young people out here having a wonderful time. And you know, the spirit, the school spirit is on display. This Denton Guyer sideline is packed, and obviously Prosper, they travel well also. So this is awesome, man. Awesome night for football here in Denton, Texas. Not a cloud in the sky, not good weather.
Beautiful. 85-degree night. Can't ask for much better than what we got in front of us right now in a still scoreless football game between 2 of the top 20 teams in the state in Texas. 3rd and goal out of the timeout. Arnold with Yusuf to his left. 6 yards from pay dirt. Arnold, straight drop, looking near side, single coverage, incomplete. Step for step with his man was Steven Richardson, and it's 4th and goal.
And look at this decision by Coach Hyman, keeping his offense on the field. Nope.
Well, they do change it up last second. Okay.
Man.
It looked like for a moment they were going to.
Hey, Mike, I was going to say that's good see. I mean, just the way that this game has been going, I know that they're trying to steal some momentum, but points right now seem to be at a premium for both of these squads.
So they're going to bring Ford Stinson on to try and get 3 of them right here. A 23-yard field goal, just a bit longer than an extra point, and it's up and through. And the first points of the football game come late in this second quarter. 3-0. Denton Guyer with the lead. You're watching Friday Night Football on the WFAA YouTube channel and WFAA Plus.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans. Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand. This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag,
Just to brag a little bit.
okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
Welcome you back to a 3-0 football game here in Denton. The Guyer Wildcats driving down the field, 6 first downs on that series to go from their own 8-yard line to the 15 in Prosper territory. I beg your pardon, to the 5 in Prosper territory, and set up that 23-yard field goal. Lots of whistles here. I don't know, is that... I'm not sure if that's coming through on our signal or if that's somebody that's got a whistle here in-house, but I thought they were stopping the play there for a moment. The kickoff return does stand, and they bring it out to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he had a little bit of daylight, but credit to the Wildcat special teams by closing the gaps and getting the tackle. But if you're the Prosper Eagles right now, you got 3 minutes and 19 seconds here to end the first half. You're going to get the ball back to start the second half. You want to get some things going. There's a penalty that's going to back them up. Didn't see that.
They're going to spot it at the 5-yard line here. So a significant penalty here against Prosper after an 87-yard drive from the Denton Guyer Wildcats to set up that 23-yard Ford Stinson field goal. Now Harrison Rosar and company trying to answer, but starting from their own 5-yard line. Rosar, I think he was supposed to hand that ball off to Javon Henry, and it was a little bit too quick there in the backfield, and he had to just eat it and try and do something with it.
And you've seen plays like that end up in disaster. And if Harrison Rosar doesn't hold on to that ball, that's possibly a fumble. So good job by the senior, and at least holding on to it. But man, he loses yards.
A loss of 3 on the play, drops the ball all the way back to the 2-yard line here. 2nd and 13 for Prosper. Dangerous, dangerous territory here for the Eagles offense. Prosper out of timeouts. Guyer with just 1 remaining. Rosar standing on the end in the end zone. Handoff left side. Braden Reimer fights his way back to the original line of scrimmage at the 5.
It's not how you want this drive to go.
And now Guyer's going to use that final timeout and try and save some of this 2:21 and leave some time to work with here for Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, Coach Schmidt, he's, you know, this drive, he definitely wanted to get some positive yards, pick up a first down, at least give his defense an opportunity to rest up. Those guys went through that long drive from Denton Guyer on that field goal drive that they just had, but those guys have got to be winded. And the thing about the way that the Wildcats play, it's all quick tempo. I mean, they're coming, once the play is over, these guys are getting right back up and they're coming right back at you. You don't even have an opportunity to catch your breath, let alone make substitutions. So look, these guys are looking at the clock right now and looking at their offense, and they're saying, guys, we need you to pick up the first down.
Yeah. They need that in the worst way here, because they do not want to give the ball back to Jackson Arnold and give him an opportunity, to your point, Heckma, with a tired defense. 1,300 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Please click the like button, click the subscribe button, and make sure you tune in for Friday Night Football all through the coming season. Out of the timeout, 3rd down and 11. You wonder if you're Tyler Moore, the Prosper Eagles offensive coordinator, do you call a play here that you're sure is going to be a completion, or that will be a run to eat up some of the clock with the coming play clock? They do call a run, but down in the backfield, very close to the goal line, but out just barely, is Prentice Sanders.
Man, that was a dangerous play because Blade Carver, again, that's one thing I love about Blade Carver that I'm recognizing immediately. He reads and reacts so well. As soon as he sees it, he is, you have in my notes here, extremely explosive. And I think that's an understatement.
Kid with a 36-inch vertical, power cleans over 300 pounds. Really, really strong kid. Dangerous moment here for the Prosper punt team. From the back of his own end zone, Guyer didn't come after it too hard, but that punt is short, is going to hop out of bounds at the 27-yard line. 135 to work with, an eternity when you've only got to go 27 yards for Jackson Arnold. No timeouts to speak of, but plenty of time to make something happen here with fantastic field position.
Yeah, this is danger zone area for this Eagles defense. But Jackson Arnold, you know, obviously as bad as it's gone for him in the first quarter and beginning of the second, he's kind of settled down. We saw the offense get things moving on the ground on that right side with Lovelace and Fritz. I'd say go right back to it, but you know, they don't have a ton of timeouts left.
1st and 10 from the 24 is where they ultimately spot it. Handoff. Yusuf had a fantastic drive on the last possession, spins his way for 5 to open this one.
Okay, go right back to the sweet spot. Like I said, right behind 77 and 65. And they're lined up again, ready to go.
Play action this time. Arnold looking near side, single coverage tipped. Good defensive play by Bo Mongaris to break it up.
Oh, Mongaris. Mongaris is on an island right now, and he understands that Josiah Martin and that jump ball, if he doesn't get in between him, that's 6.
Martin was thinking 6 for sure, looking for his 4th touchdown grab of the season. But a good job by Mongaris to break it up. So now 3rd and 5, 1:17 to play here in the opening half. Handoff. Yusuf once again picking his way close to first down yardage, but he will be short. They mark him at the 16. It's 4th and a long one. Clock is still stuck on 1:17. I don't think they realize the clock has not been running. The clock should be running, and it is not. And just now, I think Brandon Schmidt may have brought their attention to it.
Yeah, Coach Schmidt is pointed that out. And
it stayed at 1:17 for that entire play. It was at 1:17 prior to the snap. On that 3rd down run, never ran during the span of that play, and then continued to hold until just before Brandon Schmidt got his attention. They're going to wind it all the way down to 53 seconds.
Good job. That's what I was going to say, about a 20-second runoff.
So now, after they have sorted the clock, they will wind the clock once again. A fresh play clock on the board here for Jackson Arnold and company, so they've still got 17 seconds to snap it here. But it is 4th down and about 1.5 yards. They've got to get inside the 15 to pick up a 1st down. Down to 8 seconds as Arnold is in shotgun. Yusuf to his left. Claps for the snap, now steps closer to the line of scrimmage. Down to 2 on the play clock. The play clock has expired. That's a delay of game on Jackson Arnold and the Denton Guyer Wildcats offense.
Something tells me, Mike, they were trying to get them to jump off sides, maybe.
Maybe that's all they were trying to do there, but you would think that, again, they don't have timeouts, but especially if you're going to keep your offense on the field here and go for it, which evidently they're going to do that. Why not snap it on 4th and 1.5 yards instead of what they're now calling 4th and 7 officially? Again, got to get inside the 15 for the 1st down. 2 wides to either side here for Arnold. Yusuf to his left. Play action. Pressure in Arnold's face. Fires. Knocked away. Prosper's defense stands tall again.
Steven Richardson, look at this play that he makes is stepping in, and understand that Jackson Arnold is just trying to make a play, but Steven Richardson stepping in front of the player and just saying, hey, you know what? Sutton Lee, I am not going to allow you to get this ball and make a play with it in this first half with some points. That's big time by the Eagles defense. They've come up big this first half.
1 second remains on the clock here in the first half. Even if they had completed it, I don't think they would have had time to do anything with it, because you don't even have enough time to run up there and spike the ball the moment they wind the clock, because that 1 second would have expired, so Guyer had run out of time effectively anyway, even if that ball was caught. They had let the clock wind down low enough that really your only chance for points was to take an end zone shot. So now with 1 second left, a kneel down here from Rosar, and to the half we go. 3-0. Denton Guyer. The defense is sensational in the first half between two of the top 20 teams in the state. Halftime when we return on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next up, two of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA Plus.
In a world filled with motion, we are the constant. Filled with storms, we are the calm. Filled with uncertainty, we are reassurance. We bring the truth. We bring hope, conviction, a legacy of grit, determination, honesty, and relevant reporting that doesn't just inform, but inspires. We are WFAA.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag.
Just to brag a little bit.
Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
Back in Denton on Friday Night Football. They forced Stinson 23-yard field goal late in the second quarter. The difference in this football game is the 6th-ranked Denton Guyer Wildcats lead number 17 Prosper at halftime. But it is time for the halftime show. First up, the Prosper High School Talonets under the direction of Ashley Sharp and the Prosper High School Mighty Eagle Band under the direction of Brandon Holt. We hope you enjoy the show.
The Spirit Girls of the week are Kylie Barnes and Haley Johnston. The Talentettes are under the direction of Ashley Sharp and Colleen Hunt. And now, enjoy the show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Prosper High School is proud to present your Mighty Eagle Band. The Mighty Eagle Band is under the field direction of head drum major Tyler Fan and assistant drum majors Zane Johnson, Maya Oyakawa, and Lauren Stein. This week, our section of the week is the coordinators: Olivia Nyberg, Griffin Westwick, Natalie Garnes, Megan Broyles, and Sophia Adams. We would like to thank all of our sponsors, the Prosper ISD Administration and Board of Trustees, and of course, you, our family, friends, and fans. A special thanks goes to the law office of Jack Wilbur, Raising Canes of Prosper, the family of Kevin McCleary, Mathnasium of Prosper, Q&Z Productions, and Tang Visuals. This week, the Prosper Band is proud to present movements 1 and 2 of their 2022 production, Sit Down, Stand Up. information on the Mighty Eagle Band, go to prosperband.com. We hope you enjoyed the show, and go Eagles!
Our thanks to the Prosper Talonets and the Mighty Eagle Band. Next up, the Denton Guyer Wildcat Color Guard and Marching Band. The Color Guard under the direction of Allison Downs. The Wildcat Marching Band under the direction of Rob Myers. We hope you enjoy the show.
This week, our Spirit Pearl of the Week is Rosie Adams. And our Silverado of the Week is Eddie Reed. Our Silverado teammates are Communication, Kevin Reed, and Connie Wood. Tonight, the Silverados will perform a jazz kick routine through September. Jackson and assisted by Norman Ewing. We'd also like to acknowledge and thank all our sponsors and supporting the Dynasty Waters for the 2022 season. They are Chick-fil-A, Huntington Square Airport, and the Huntington State Cancer Center, Hamilton Frontier, and First Smart Colony Roofing. We'd also like to wish the Cluster Tower a great 2022 season.
Our score at the break, the Wildcats with the lead at halftime. Prosper ball to begin the second half. We return on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
Next up, two of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA Plus.
Please remember
As we welcome you back here in Denton on Friday Night Football.
is having a birthday tomorrow.
Of the Denton Guyer
Wish you a very
Wildcats,
happy
in the
birthday.
state of Texas in 6A. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison back with you here in the broadcast booth. And after we've seen a record-breaking touchdown that didn't exactly go according to the script that maybe we would have expected heading into the end.
I like that. That's interesting. I think the book came into this thing that we would definitely have more points to agree. Scoring in this matchup is good. And it's a close show at the Wildcats offense is good for some reason. Both of these defenses got up and scored in each other.
He did, absolutely. Take a look at the first half stats between these two teams, and you can see a little bit of that violence. The Denton Guyer Wildcats defense holding Prosper to just 12 total yards in the first half of this football game. Just one first down that came via penalty. That's it for Prosper, and a goose egg in the score column. Meanwhile, for Denton Guyer, a team that you mentioned earlier tonight, Heckma, averaging in the neighborhood of 50 points per game. They have piled it on teams here in the early goings of this season. 47 points per game in total in their 3 games this year. 3 points on the board. They did have that one extended drive that accounts for most of those 160 yards that led to the one field goal from Ford Stinson. That's the difference in this football game. But that's been about it.
I'm just shocked at this Wildcats offense. 121 yards on the ground, and honestly, Mike, if you think about it, half of those yards came from Trey Joyner on one carry that he had up until this point. I think, you know, the passing yardage right now from Jackson Arnold, no one could have expected that this Prosper Eagle defense would have held him in check the way that they have. But my God, this has been not the back and forth that we thought it was going to be. It's just been a slugfest and on the defensive side, and man, they are just not allowing any room for either of those offenses to operate.
It's been a really, really impressive half of football from both of these defenses. You see Prosper making their way back on the football field. It will be Prosper ball to start this second half, Heckma. That matters on some level, but with as anemic as they've been offensively in this first half, they have to find something to get going.
Yeah, Harrison Rosar hadn't had an opportunity to try and get the ball up the field. You talk about 3,000 yards last season. It's just not looking as though he trusts his arm. I understand, you know, what Harrison Rosar is looking at. He's looking at a defensive secondary that has Brian Yates, Caleb Rowe, Peyton Bowen, the Notre Dame commit, and his brother Eli Bowen. And then on the other side, you have Anthony Benford. And there are a lot of dogs on this other side for the Wildcats. And it just seems like to me that Harrison Rosar is seeing about 20 people out there on the field right now. He's got to calm himself down and try to try and stretch this field and get something positive going for the Eagles offense.
3-0 Denton Guyer at the break. The 87-yard field goal drive leading to the Ford Stinson 23-yard field goal there midway through the second quarter. The only points we have seen tonight. The Prosper kickoff return team making their way on the field, hoping to begin the process by which you actually see some change in that regard for their offense as they will have the football to start this second half.
And they've got to get something going, Mike. That first half went so fast. I mean, the way the tempo was going for Denton Guyer, before we looked up, I mean, it took 45 minutes in the first half was basically over. So these guys have gotten an opportunity to make adjustments. We know football is a game of adjustments. Let's see who's been able to do that.
Prentice Sanders on the return, fumbled that kickoff return there momentarily, but was able to scoop it up and at least pick up a couple of yards. But as soon as he got that football in his hand, he was staring in the teeth of a couple of Denton Guyer defenders. Maybe a pickup of 4 or 5 yards on the return, and they will start from their own 18-yard line.
And what I love so much about this Denton Guyer team is that they do it in all 3 phases. I mean, before today, you look at how electric this offense has been, defense have been, but they haven't had any lapses in special teams either.
So 1st and 10 for Harrison Rosar and company from their own 18-yard line. Handoff here for Trevor Montaigne, banged down after a gain of 2.
Yeah, Montaigne has got to get something going on the ground. Him and Prentice Sanders, they line up so far off the ball in that in the shotgun, and they try and do a lot from the pistol, but he's about 10 to 12 yards off the ball trying to run downhill into the teeth of this Wildcat defense, and still they just hadn't got anything going as they go with the split backfield.
Montaigne and Sanders to either side here of Rosar. Play action fake, quick swing near side, complete in the hands of Javon Henry. And he's got enough to get out to the 26-yard line. That'll be just shy of 1st down yardage. It'll be 3rd and 2.
I like that, going into their bag, trying to find something that's going to loosen this Guyer defense up. They've been so tough in the inside. I know that the Prosper Eagle offense, they're trying to get out on the outside, attack those edges, but you see how fast this defense reads and reacts.
Reimer in motion right to left. Handoff Montaigne, taken in the backfield, eventually down. First on the scene was Blade Carver, and Denton Guyer comes through and cleans it up for a loss on the play. It's 4th down.
This is how you play the will linebacker position. You see Blade Carver, when you see it, go get it. He doesn't hesitate at all. All of his numbers is vertical, 36-inch vertical, 300-pound clean. All that tells me is that this guy is a stud, okay? And with all of those measurables that he has, it does not surprise me that he can read and react as fast as he does, man. Just an awesome athlete.
So 4th down and 6, and Prosper will have to punt it away once again. Josh Kennedy sends it spiraling into the Denton night. Caught at the 31-yard line, making the first man miss is Peyton Bowen. He is dangerous in space, banged down right as he crossed midfield by Carson McClendon, but a nice return from Peyton Bowen and good field position to start the second half here for Denton Guyer.
When you have a weapon like Peyton Bowen, you want to use him, and that's the part I just said. In all 3 phases of the game, the Wildcats are dangerous, and you got to have something going for you in this second half like that. Those big plays and switching the momentum. The Eagles have come out. They were not able to steal any momentum to get the second half started, and now here they are again. The Wildcat offense is back on the field.
1st and 10 at the 49 in Prosper territory. Heck of a start here for Jackson Arnold and company. Handoff right up the middle. Big hole, dragging tacklers for a gain of 10 is Trey Joyner.
Yeah, look at this offensive line. And big number 77, Jacob Fritz. He is just pushing everybody inside.
Adam Dew on the tackle. Another handoff here for Joyner. Lowers his shoulder, breaks another tackle. 1st down yardage once again inside the 30.
This running game they got started from where they finished off here in the first half, finding some running room, and Trey Joyner was the catalyst to all of that.
Back-to-back 1st down carries for Joyner. They'll give him the football once again. This time the Prosper defense bottles him up inside after a gain of 2. This time play action to Joyner. Arnold over the middle, it's intercepted. Picked off and coming back near side across the 20-yard line. Still on his feet, but finally taken down at the 20-yard line is Bo Mongaris. The interception for Prosper, and again, this Eagles defense stands tall.
Just when you think the momentum is on the side of the Wildcats, this happens, and Jackson Arnold trying to force the ball in, and my God, this is just so uncharacteristic of Jackson Arnold. That's his first interception of the season.
Very first interception of 2022. You said it at halftime, Heckma Harrison. We weren't back on the air yet, but we were looking at the stats and we noticed goose eggs in the turnover category. You said one thing.
Turnovers, it's got to happen in the second half. It's going to change the momentum.
You said it was coming, and it came. Not even 3 minutes into the second half, and almost came again right there, in and out of the hands of Eli Bowen.
Oh, man.
You could see the body language for him, like, how did I not squeeze that?
Oh, man, hey, if you can see both of us in the booth, we both ducked down. I mean, God, and somebody hollered 4 in the press box.
We buckled.
Hey, both of us knew. Like this. Hey, they're going back to back with these turnovers, but this is, at some point, someone was going to get the ball. What can the Eagles do with it, though, Mike?
2nd and 10, quick throw near side. Little bit of space for Prentice Sanders, but it evaporates just so quickly.
I know, like I said, man, you got to set up a screen. You got to get these guys out in space and try and set up some running lanes. But this defense runs they're so fast, and they're going to shut that down so quickly. And I'm not saying that Prentice is a fast guy. You know, he's 5'9", 160 pounds. He's more of a scat back, but when you see him out in space, he has nowhere to go. He can't use his vision and surely can't use his speed.
Really nice job by Ryan Yates, the 4-star LSU commit, to shed his block and make the tackle of Sanders, who's a 4.43 40-yard dash kid. Pressure over the middle, nobody home for Harrison Rosar. He had bearing down on him Brendan Bradshaw in the backfield.
Yeah, good job by Harrison Rosar getting the ball out of his hands. I mean, there's really nothing he can do. He's anticipating that pressure. It gets to him so fast. I mean, he really can't make a play. And Brendan Bradshaw, who's been having one heck of a game at 6'2", 180 pounds, he's a hybrid linebacker. He's, you know, you want to call him a strong safety linebacker type, but you see a guy like that so quick, so fast, not giving Harrison Rosar an opportunity to even think about what he's going to do.
So the 3rd down stop for Denton Guyer forces the 2nd punt of the half here for Josh Kennedy. He unleashed a 69-yarder in the first half. Another beauty here forces Peyton Bowen all the way back to his own 21. Makes a man miss, crosses the 30, trying to come to the near sideline. Peyton Bowen's got something across the 40. Peyton Bowen across midfield. Another fantastic punt return from Peyton Bowen, the Notre Dame-bound senior, into Prosper territory again.
God, Peyton Bowen, he is the weapon, and maybe he is what the Wildcats need to change this field position. Number 33 for the Eagles have him dead to right, and that's T.J. Jones. But even in this space, T.J. can't do anything with him. Number 22 makes a move and gets out.
Peyton Bowen, we've seen him over the course of the season make an impact offensively as well for Denton Guyer in some spots. There on special teams, sets him up once again, and here goes Ahmed Yusuf right back to work, up the gut for 8.
And they're finding something. They're just getting right behind Lovelace and Fritz, excuse me.
Jacob Fritz, the big right tackle, 6'6", 280 pounds. This time, though, a nice job to knife across by Jonah McClendon and make the tackle. It will be just enough for the 1st down there on 2nd down and 2. But a nice play there by the junior outside linebacker.
Yeah, McClendon, he's just holding on for dear life because Yusuf is just dragging him to the 1st down marker.
Yusuf again, right up the gut. Caught from behind there by Dylan Hinshaw, but continued to push the pile. Give him 6 on the carry.
I'm surprised they don't whistle this dead, but still, you see the power from Yusuf. He is more of the power back of the two between him and Trey Joyner. But they've got a way on this Eagles defense.
Officially a gain of 5 at 2nd and 5. Play action for Yusuf. Arnold near side, complete, land inside, 1st down and then some, hopping his way inside the 15 and out of bounds just outside the 10.
There's the 7-11 connection that we've been waiting for this entire game. And the Eagles have done a good job of shutting it down as they go right back up tempo.
Yusuf up the middle, down to the 7. Under 7 minutes to play, 3rd quarter, yet to see a touchdown tonight. 2nd down and goal for Denton Guyer, trying to change that. Yusuf to the right of Jackson Arnold. Takes the handoff right guard, end zone, touchdown, Ahmed Yusuf. His 1st of the year, the 1st tonight for either team, and Guyer with a 2-score lead.
Ahmed Yusuf takes this ball and says, I am not going to be denied here in Denton. We have got to win this ball game. Denton Guyer finding a way here in third quarter to put points on the board. Kudos to that offensive line for getting it done.
Ahmed Yusuf, carry after carry, dragging bodies, picking up big chunks of yards, and finishing off what Peyton Bowen began in special teams, the 33-yard punt return to get Denton Guyer into Prosper territory to begin the series, and then it was a heavy helping of Ahmed Yusuf all the way to the end zone, and Denton Guyer with a 9-0 lead. We saw Jonah McClendon walk off a little bit gingerly there for Prosper. We'll have to check his status as we move forward here. But on for the PAT for Denton Guyer is Ford Stinson, who until just a moment ago was the only young man we'd seen score any points tonight. That missed wide right. It will stay 9-0 Denton Guyer. Stinson, who hit the 23-yard field goal earlier, this time misses the PAT wide right, and it's 9-0 Guyer midway through the third quarter on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff. Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
Next up, two of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA Plus.
Back on Friday Night Football from C.H. Collins Athletic Complex in Denton. The Guyer Wildcats, number 6 in the state in 6A, taking a 2-score lead here on the 17th ranked Prosper Eagles. Cam Posada to kick it away, taken from the 7-yard line. A fair catch called for there by Prentice Sanders, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
You just said it there in the break. Peyton Bowen is really good. And I just want to say, you don't say, Mike Leslie.
That is advanced football analysis from yours truly.
What an evaluation, Mike. Yeah. That's the only reason why Notre Dame is coming knocking, because this kid is electric. His ability, 2 times in a row he's done that. I mean, I would think you want to punt that thing away from him if he's making plays like that.
That's probably the last time we see Prosper punt the ball. The number 22. Prentice Sanders with the first carry here of the possession. Strung out, maybe a gain of 1.5 yards or so. Denton Guyer's defense is just everywhere.
Now, you slow developing plays like this, they love it. They love it when they get to turn and chase, because they're going to cover every part of the field. This is the thing when you have a fast defense like this, running sideline to sideline is their forte. It used to be, hey, back in my day when it was reel to reel, when you had to watch the video, watch the tape, you know, everything was pretty much north and south, and you wanted to play it that way. Now, these guys are so fast that running side to side, they welcome it.
Rosar on play action, rolling out near side, looking downfield, single coverage, has a man in and out of the hands of an open man. Javon Henry couldn't squeeze it.
And there goes Peyton Bowen again. Trailing. Look at this whole time. He's trailing on this crossing route. And Harrison Rosar has to put this in a place where only his receiver can get it. And that's a good job also by Anthony Benford of not trying to deliver a knockout blow on something like that. That's it. That's intelligence, field awareness. You know, there's so many guys that would have took that shot and given up those yards in the first down.
And I think with each passing year, we're seeing the impact that the rule changes have made, because these kids that are coming up through that are learning to play the game that way are now playing a safer brand of football. Timeout here called by Brandon Schmidt, the first timeout we've seen called here in half number 2. We saw them use all 3 of their timeouts relatively early on in the first half as well, in what figures to be a game that may go down to the wire, as we've seen between these two teams over the course of the last 2 years. Those timeouts could prove valuable at some point, but it's encouraging to see that evolution of the game over the course of the last, even just the last 3 or 4 years, where kids who grew up with NFL blitz or that were used to those huge hits, that played video games with it,
that started to have been cycled out, and now these kids maybe didn't have the same childhood experience that you or I did, where that big hit was the only thing you were worried about.
Oh yeah, you're gonna take that. I see you coming across there, and you don't see me, and I see you. I'm gonna get it, but I just call it, it's emotional intelligence. I also call it situational awareness. And when you have players that can play with that kind of intelligence on the field, it really does a lot for a head coach. And that's an awesome play by Anthony Benford.
3rd down and 8 out of the timeout. Javon Henry, motion man across the formation, flag before the snap. And it's going to be a false start against Prosper. So 3rd and 8 becomes 3rd down and 13. Both of these teams have hurt themselves with pre-snap penalties tonight.
I know they're anxious, they're pressing. I know for Denton Guyer, they're going high up tempo, and so those offensive linemen, man, they're trying to get on their block. But I don't know what the excuse is for Prosper coming out of the timeout.
I did like the play design on that 2nd down throw. They weren't able to make the connection with Henry, but Rosar put that ball right on target. They need to unleash him a little bit, and they do here, trying to look over the middle for Hunter Summers, but missed his target. I think there was some miscommunication. Summers recognized it was zone and cycled down, and Rosar saw something different.
No, what he's doing is he's expecting Hunter Summers to work more up the field, and Summers, understanding, like you just pointed out, he sees a hole in that zone and he sits down. And so, again, miscommunication. They just haven't had any rhythm this entire game. And so, at some point, because these coaches, they're trying to find a wrinkle, a hole, a chink in the armor of the Wildcat defense. They just hadn't found it.
Josh Kennedy, I have to imagine, was told by Brandon Schmidt, don't punt the ball to Peyton Bowen this time, and he does not. Out of bounds on the far sideline. We'll see where they mark that ball out of bounds. It's still going to be good field position here for Denton Guyer as they mark it at the 45-yard line in Prosper territory. Player down here for Denton Guyer. That looks to be Braxton Eason, the junior on their punt return team. Being tended to right now by the Denton Guyer athletic training staff. Just shy of 1,600 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. The Daring Pastry 1313 in the YouTube comment says, of course they didn't have the NFL blitz experience. That was on N64 in 1997. It's a fair point. None of these kids were born at that point. All of these kids were born, get this, 03, 04 or later. That's painful to my soul.
Well, hey, unfortunately, I'm used to it, Mike. So, when you get to this point, you've got a couple kids that's graduated from college, a couple in high school. This is nothing. So when you make references like that, I just said my high school tape was on reel to reel. You didn't catch that, but thank you for not pointing that out.
I did. I just didn't want to sink the knife any further on you.
I go back. My school was we had overhead projectors. Okay.
I did have overhead projectors.
Okay.
I promise you, I had overhead projectors. More so in elementary school than anything beyond that, but I had overhead projectors, I promised you. Another pre-snap penalty here. We saw Guyer have 6 first-half penalties. Another one right here is going to set him up back at the midfield stripe, 1st and 15 to begin this series. This, though, is as big a spot as we've seen the Denton Guyer defense in all night. You can't allow points right now. Certainly can't allow 7 points. With as much as offense has been a struggle, as Trey Joyner takes the handoff, nowhere to go, at least on play number 1 of the series. This Eagles defense up to the task. This is a big spot for them.
Yeah, you talk about a defense that's going to need an ice bath tonight and in the morning. These guys have been playing tough. They've been taking on this offensive line and playing in this high tempo Wildcat offense. These guys have got to be tired.
Arnold nearly drew him offside, but not quite. Ethan Higgins did a nice job to gear down right at that line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 15. Play action. Arnold looking left side. Quick strike on the money. Pickup of 9 on the play, and will make 3rd down a bit more manageable.
Yeah, getting to see a little bit of that arm strength from Jackson Arnold. You can tell, man, that ball just pops off of his hand, man. And I'll tell you what, OU, Brett Venable is going to love this kid once he gets to Norman.
3rd and 6, handoff for Joyner. That was a play call that said, we got 4 downs to work with here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
James Killo saying, what state is this in? We're in Texas tonight. Denton, Texas for Guyer and Prosper. 4th down and about 3. They've got to get to the 35-yard line for a 1st down. Handoff Joyner. Lowers his shoulder, and he's got enough to move the chains.
Well, he got right to that marker, Mike. Look at this, where he falls. And they are going to move the chains. That's a great 1st down for the Wildcat offense. Could not ill afford to go 4 and out right there.
1st and 10 at the 35. Arnold with a tight bunched formation. Hands off for Joyner. Joyner with a big hole inside the 30. Keeping his hand in the dirt and gaining a couple more. A pickup of 8.
And what you're starting to see right now is that this defense for the Eagles is starting to get bottled up possession after possession. Guys are getting up off the floor.
Joyner into the secondary, and he scores.
And that's how you want to make it happen.
Trey Joyner going 25 yards for the touchdown. And Denton Guyer opening up a 15-0 lead.
Right off of that trap block, we talk about Youssef coming in and then Joyner. That's a change of pace back. Both of these guys are low center of gravity running backs and just able to cash in. That's a great drive right there by the Wildcat offense, all set up behind their fear of Peyton Bowen.
Extra point this time from Stinson is up and through. It's still a 2-score game because of that PAT, but a 16-0 advantage for Denton Guyer as Trey Joyner goes up the gut. 2 rushing touchdowns today for the Wildcats. They lead 16-0 late in the 3rd on Friday Night Football.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Yolitics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans.
Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand.
This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else.
Not to brag, just to brag a little bit. Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines.
Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads.
And still counting.
3 minutes, 38 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. In a game where offense has been incredibly difficult to come by, Denton Guyer with back-to-back touchdown drives on short fields thanks to their special teams, and they lead it by 2 scores. Prentice Sanders trying to respond in kind here on special teams, but to no avail. Out to the 20, and that's where they'll begin.
Yeah, all of that. You talked about the returns from Peyton Bowen and how he's flipped the field position. We knew definitely that they were not going to come out and try and punt it to him again, but that last punt, it just gave up that favorable field position. And credit Coach Heim for going for it on 4th down, recognizing that, hey, 4th and 3, I cannot take my offense off the field and give this ball back to Prosper. I need to get some confidence going, and that's what got that drive going and put more points on the board.
So now back comes Harrison Rosar in this Prosper Eagles offense, needing to get something finally going. Handoff Javon Henry coming left side, give him maybe a yard.
Mike, they love to see that play. This defense is going to look at how they respond on the outside. Anthony Benford, 5'11", 180 pounds, the senior that is has an offer to Idaho. He's tough as nails. I mean, he's not going to olay that block. He's going to take your guy on and make that thing bend back inside.
I started to say it earlier. If I'm Tyler Moore, unleash Harrison Rosar right now. That play where he tried to hit Javon Henry is up in the air, went Trevor Montaigne and maybe gaining a yard. That play where he hit Javon Henry and that ball hit Henry in the hands. It would have been a fantastic catch by Henry screaming across the middle. I don't mean to say that it was a drop necessarily, but that ball was right on target from Harrison Rosar, who's one of the best quarterbacks in North Texas. Unleash this kid. You're down 2 scores. It's late 3rd quarter. Let him sling the ball around a little bit because that's your opportunity to get back in this football game. The horizontal run game, as you've mentioned so far tonight, has not really paid dividends for him.
And maybe this is something positive that's going for them as they get a personal foul penalty. It's going to move the chains and give them a 1st down.
Big penalty there called by Ricky Herron and his 7-man crew tonight.
And that's on Olanipocoon,
who we've seen have a nice night tonight. Had a big sack earlier, has made some impact plays in this football game. But the first down gifted to Prosper right there. Handoff for Montaigne again, trying to run laterally, makes a couple guys miss. Nice job to make that a 3-yard gain.
I mean, you just have to be a specimen athletically to get past 3 of those Wildcat defenders chasing you on the outside out in space. And that's why I'm hoping that at some point they try and get a screen going, some confidence for this offensive line. These guys have done a wonderful job. They started off, they held this defense, tried to hold them in check, but you're not doing them any favors when you try and stretch out plays like that.
2nd down and 8. Rosar, play action, rolling near side. Backpedaling as he fires over the middle, and it's picked off. Ryan Yates with the interception at midfield.
I just want to tell you, LSU, you got one as well. And that Ryan Yates is outstanding. 6'2", 190 pounds. Look at this ball-hawking, playmaking ability right here. Going up, 2 hands, getting his feet down. Oh, that's money right there. That is money.
Popcorn flying in the air from the Guyer student section and everything. And Ryan Yates with the interception. Gosh. It's been the Guyer special teams and the defense that has done the lion's share of the work tonight. And Ryan Yates, the kid on his way to Baton Rouge with the interception, and Guyer takes it back here late in the 3rd. Handoff Yusuf. Nice defensive play by Jonah McClendon. I wanted to double check it earlier to make sure that this was correct, and it is. That first down that Prosper got via the penalty on Palumi Olanipocoon, only their 2nd first down of the day, both of them by penalty on Denton Guyer.
Mike, as much as I got up this morning wanting to see Jackson Arnold and just his arm and playmaking ability, because look, he's special. Listen, I'm not going to take any away from him in this game that I'm watching, because I know that this kid is a special athlete in the state of Texas. Man, this defense is outstanding. And the back half, we talk about what's happening in the front half, but these linebackers, the way that they scrape and the way they run, Blake Harvard is, I mean, he's as good as I've seen all year.
Yeah.
But this secondary is outstanding.
You saw Jonah McClendon walk off under his own power. Looked like he was a little bit gimpy when he first got up, but looks like he'll probably be okay to return here after a couple plays. 2nd down and 11 after he made the tackle there on Yusuf. Arnold up the seam. He's got Landon Sides just a bit too far.
Just over the right outstretched arms of man, they don't miss each other. I mean, this is ESP between 7 and 11. They hook up on that all the time. They can do this with all the lights off in this stadium. These guys have a connection with one another, and if you look at the numbers that they put up week in and week out, they don't miss on that fade route.
Just a bit too far on that one, though, and it's 3rd down and 11 here for Guyer. Got to get to the 40-yard stripe. Flag on the play. It's going to be another pre-snap penalty against Denton Guyer. Another false start, according to Ricky Herron.
There's been one takeaway from this game, Mike. It's been all the penalties, the false start penalties on their offensive line. They have done it to themselves. I mean, they're shooting themselves in the foot with those penalties.
Turns 3rd and 11 into 3rd and 16 now. Tightly bunched formation on the near side. Josiah Martin, the lone receiver on the far side. Play action, pressure. Arnold, 3 men in his face, finally had to throw it away. And it'll bring up 4th down, and they'll have to punt.
And I love Jackson Arnold. He has a tremendous heart. Sometimes the play is over. You know, get out of bounds, let it be. You know, that's a shot you don't want to see your 5-star quarterback take.
He gave that play every last half a second that he could, and I think to your point, yeah, especially up 16-0 here late in the 3rd. Don't, in week 4 of the season, take an unnecessary shot when you're so important to the future of this program. Punt fielded there by McClendon at the 24. Good coverage there by the Denton Guyer team. Michael Canoe down there to make the tackle.
Yeah, what don't these guys do? I mean, this is the kind of team I see. Look, we've called some of the best in the state, Mike, and all of them have this common thing. They do it in all three phases. They don't just do it on offense. They don't just do it on defense. They do it on special teams as well. And that's just practice. That's taking pride in that special teams period. And you find me a team that doesn't, have the importance on those special teams periods, I'll show you a loser.
1st and 10, motion man, handoff Sanders. Just nowhere to go. Maybe a gain of a yard. 1,500 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Again, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, as we will bring you a high school football broadcast every week here on Friday Night Football. Next week, we are in Kaufman, Sunnyvale, and Kaufman squaring off here on Friday Night Football as we take a trip into the 4A ranks. Two of the best 4A teams in North Texas squaring off next week, 7:30. Here on Friday Night Football. Handoff once again for Sanders. Once again, nowhere to go. I'm just saying, put the football in the air, Prosper.
Yeah, it's you're not going to get anything on the ground. This defense is just waiting on you to get out there. These linebackers, the way that they're scraping and running, I mean, you're just not fooling them. And I think when you get Ryan Yates, he's already shown you that he's a ball hawk. And I think that's the one thing for Harrison Rosar. He's like, look, I hand this ball off, I put it in the air. I'm seeing this guy got at least 15 of these guys out here. So, what do you want me to do, Mike Leslie?
Hey, listen, Ryan Yates is saying, yeah, please throw the football a little bit more. I'll be waiting. 16-0 after 3. We head to the 4th on Friday Night Football. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next up, two of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA Plus. 16-0 Denton Guyer as we head to quarter number 4 here on Friday Night Football. C.H. Collins Athletic Complex in Denton. The site tonight on a beautiful mid-September evening. Week number 1 of district play for each of these two teams in 5-6A. Both teams with bona fide playoff hopes. Two teams that have both made deep runs each of the last 2 years. Guyer beating Prosper in the regional final in each of the last 2 seasons. Prosper 0-4 against Guyer, trying to get him tonight, but with an uphill climb in front of him.
So you're saying they're going to see each other again?
I think there's a pretty darn good chance.
They're going to see each other again for sure.
3rd down and 9 to begin the 4th quarter. They've got to get to the 35-yard line for a first down. Pressure on Rosar, fires over the middle. Hunter Summers on the receiving end. First down and then some, out across the 40.
Mike Leslie, they've been listening to you, and you got your wish. There you go.
I mean, you got to get the ball to Hunter Summers. 8th in the area in receiving yards. A Wyoming commit, had 13 offers. The kid is really talented. They need more of that, and they need it quickly, down 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions. They'll mark it right at the 40. 1st and 10, handoff Montaigne. Slaloms a tackler and picks up about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, both of these teams, when they go back and they look at the tape, I think for Prosper, they're just going to ask themselves, what do we have to do offensively to catch these guys off guard? Because they seem to be anticipating every move that the Eagles make. If it's not going to be something that you do in the passing game to try and take the top off, or at least have a receiver that can take the top off of this defense, everything you do on the ground, they're anticipating well.
2nd down and 9. Handoff once again for Montaigne, and in the backfield immediately for the tackle is Brendan Bradshaw.
He's been doing that all game, and the star linebacker is he's really so long and lengthy And you can tell, man, they salivate when they see that ball going sideline to sideline. So you got to come up with a better game plan. You see these guys again. You cannot continue to run at them that way.
3rd down and 15. Ball's got to get to the midfield stripe to move the chains. 3 wides to the near side. Summers in motion right to left here for Harrison Rosar. Looking left side, up the seam, has a man behind the defense, it's Summers. He hangs on at the 32, 1st down and then some into Guyer territory. Just the 2nd 1st down actually earned by the offense tonight for Prosper.
You just spoke about how talented this young man is, Hunter Summers, 8th in DFW in receiving. I just said to you, they're going to have to find a way to take the top off, and there it is. It works.
Quick timeout called here after the big hookup down to the 32-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Prosper at the 32 in Guyer territory. We talked about how good quarterback Harrison Rosar is. QB Hit List is a website out there that evaluates quarterbacks across the country. It's maybe not as popular or noteworthy as 24/7 Sports or Rivals, but they have their own quarterback ranking system and wide receiver ranking system. They have Harrison Rosar as a 3-star prospect. They have him as the 101st best quarterback in the country, for whatever that is worth. This is a young man that does not have at present a Division I offer. I really don't know how, with the numbers that he has put up over the course of his career here in Prosper and the way that he's led his team to big wins in big moments. We saw a little bit of it right there, what he can do. And they're going to have him go to the air here once again out of the timeout. Cycling backside, back shoulder throw, but nicely done by the defense there from Denton Guyer. And it's again Ryan Yates to break it up.
Yeah, he has a receiver streaking down right at the hash mark. He's just not able to find him. And that's Peavy House is what I'm trying to say. Caden Peavy House is running down the hash mark. He just couldn't find him.
The breakup by Yates sets up 2nd down and 10. 4 wides for Rosar, 3 to the near side right. Flags at the snap. Waiting on the signal here. It is a false start against Prosper.
You got to the part of the program where you have to throw the ball if you want to get back in this game. And just going back to Harrison Rosar, his poise, in what you've seen from him on tape, right now he has a top-tier defense in front of him. But this kid is poised, and he is, as accurate as they come. Right now, you're just not able to see it because, hey, man, they got a 4- or 5-star guy, and that's the screen that you're waiting on. But, my God, look at the speed and how they shut that down.
Caleb Darthard with the tackle. It looked like at the moment he caught the football that Trevor Montaigne was going to have some space, and here comes Darthard on a line. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play. It's 3rd and 14.
I don't know what you do versus defense now that I just saw that. So look at the speed. I mean, they anticipate so well and run so well. They're just not giving up any breaks.
And it's not like you can just take vertical shots with Summers because they got Yates over the top of him. They are going to go to Summers one-on-one, knocked and intercepted. Picked off in the end zone. There's a flag on the play. Anthony Benford came away with the tip drill. It's going to be a pass interference penalty, though, against Denton Guyer. Watch this pick just for the entertainment value. Benford with a tremendous catch. They officially ruled that an incomplete pass. Not that it matters. The penalty was going to wipe out the interception anyway. If we can look at the replay one more time, I'm fairly certain that ball was caught by Anthony Benford. Tipped up in the air first by Yates. Tipped a 2nd time by Benford. I don't think this ball ever hit the ground. Again, it's inconsequential. but that ball never touched the ground.
Yeah, it goes off of the leg of Hunter Summers and ricochets back up into Anthony Benford's arms. But they got the call right because Ryan Yates, there was contact down there at the goal line.
Sets up a free first down here for Prosper at the 21. Rosar rolling near side off the play action fake fire in end zone. What a catch! Touchdown Prosper! Dylan Hinshaw with a sensational catch.
This is a grown man throw and catch. Look at Hinshaw looking back at it with a defender in his face, and he comes down with it. Oh my goodness, Caleb Rowe is Velcroed onto him, and he still makes the catch.
One-handed with the other arm around the helmet of Rowe. And Hinshaw, the defensive end who plays a little bit of both ways, hauls it in for the touchdown. Now Prosper has to go for 2 to make it an 8-point game and keep it a one-possession game. They're going to throw it. Little Philly special. Rosar dives for the tip ball, but he can't haul it in. Denton Guyer's defense read it beautifully, Heckma. It was tipped. The throw from Henry. Rosar nearly dove to get his hands underneath it, but it's incomplete. It will stay a 2-possession game. 9:01 left in the 4th. Friday Night Football just got a little more interesting early on here in the final frame. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed. Next up, 2 of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA Plus. Harrison Rosar to Dylan Hinshaw for the touchdown, and Prosper finally here, not quite 3 minutes into quarter number 4, on the board here in Denton, but still with an uphill climb in front of them, Heckma. But to see their offense finally start to click a little bit is a big step in the right direction.
Well, I think we have the coaches about 2 booths over from us. Maybe they're hearing a little bit of this broadcast and you begging for them to allow Harrison Rosar to throw the ball. It's all we've been asking for. It's just, look, I understand you're trying to catch these guys off balance with these sideline-to-sideline runs, but it's just not getting it done. And finally, they loosen up that playbook and allow Rosar to try and stretch his field and make some plays, and he rewards them with a touchdown.
So Josh Kennedy on to kick it away. It's going to be a short pooch kick up the far side. Fair catch called for and made at the very last moment there by Denton Guyer's Caleb Rowe. And the Wildcats offense will begin there. Prosper finally finding the end zone thanks to Rosar and Hinshaw. And as great as the catch was by Hinshaw, the throw from Rosar as well, to have the confidence in his man and to throw that on the inside shoulder of Hinshaw away from the defender and give his man a chance to make the catch, that's a special throw.
Yeah, because he's looking at the back of the defender when he makes that throw. So, you know, you gotta give praise where it's due, man. And he does a good job of getting points on the board.
Trey Joyner with the carry on the first possession, on the first play of the possession here for Denton Guyer. A gain of 3. And on some level, you got to imagine Denton Guyer's going into a little 4-minute offense here, trying to sop up some of the 8:45 that remains in this football game.
And they're still going up tempo, which is surprising to me with the lead that they have. You know, you may want to try and milk this clock a little bit. You got to play, you know, the play clock. Maybe go 5 seconds into the play clock and then run a play, but no thing. They're sticking to their guns and they're going up tempo with a big 3rd down coming up.
3rd and 3 here. Nearly drew him off sides, did Jackson Arnold. Testing the balance of Davis Perkins. Now the handoff for Joyner, and it's Perkins who makes the tackle. Not quite a minute since the touchdown from Prosper, and it's 4th down Denton Guyer. And look at this decision from Reed Hine, keeping his offense on the football field for 4th and 2 in his own territory. Ball at the 42-yard line. Got to get to the 44 to pick up a first. Arnold Claps for the snap. Now looks sideline. 17 on the play clock. Arnold and Austin Correa in the backfield. Down to 5 on the play clock, and they are not going to snap the football here. They'll take, though, what is their second timeout of this second half in order to punt this football away. So that is a potentially valuable timeout.
In a situation like this, and I understand you're going up against a district foe and you want to exact your dominance on them, but you've been doing this the entire game, and it's been a dogfight, to say the least, between these two teams in this game. And sometimes, you got to get into the chess match, the gamesmanship here, and just say, look, guys, we're going to milk this clock. We're going to, go with a more slow tempo offense. And hey, if that's not in your DNA, I completely understand. But at some point, in order to pull out with the dub and not risk anything, slow it down.
7.5 minutes on the clock now after the timeout called by Denton Guyer. So 1 minute and 31 seconds gone by on that possession, and they're going to punt it back to a Prosper team that has 2 timeouts, as you see there on your screen.
I don't know if they are, because Jackson Arnold is still in that huddle.
Maybe they won't punt it away. Arnold is indeed still coming back out on the football field. In their own territory, a gutsy decision forthcoming here from Reed Hine. Arnold with 2 wides to the near side. Claps for the snap. He's got Joyner to his left in the sidecar. Joyner. No, it's going to be Arnold to keep it himself. He's got the first down. Still going across midfield. Jackson Arnold keeping it himself off the fake and picks up the first down.
Can they give him another star? I think they cap out. They cap out at 5-star, but my goodness, you know what? I tell you what, that's physical play, and that's just trusting your senior.
Flag here prior to the first down snap. It looks like this is going to be another pre-snap penalty against the Wildcats offense. But think about what was on the line in that moment. If they get taken down there without picking up the first down, it is Prosper ball. I'm going to say it's a delayed game here against Arnold and the Wildcats offense, so it will be 1st and 15 as they drop back into their own territory at the 47. You've got a Prosper offense that finally just found something, drove the ball 77 yards for their first touchdown of the day, and you're going to give them the ball at your 41-yard line with a chance to get right back in this football game. A lot was on the line in that moment, and Jackson Arnold came up huge.
Yeah, that's gutsy.
Handoff Joyner. Leg drive across midfield. Mark him right at midfield.
Yeah, that's a gutsy call by Coach Hine. And, all I can say is I'm up here in the comfy confines of you. And so, that's a different thing going down on that sideline. For Coach Hine to make that call, that's just saying to your senior quarterback and your offensive line, I trust you guys. And we're going to go for it all, and we're going to put the nail in the coffin.
And I think that's also on some level a decision made by Reed Hine, knowing the history between these two teams and how close these games have been. He saw an opportunity to potentially put this game away, and he wanted to seize the opportunity. Now, I say that, now back-to-back plays, they've not gained a whole lot here, and it's going to be 3rd down and 13, so still an opportunity here for Prosper to get their offense the football back and do something with it. But you can just imagine in Reed Hine's head, he's like, listen, I don't want to go down to the wire with Prosper again. If we got a chance to end this, let's end it.
Mike, the game has been like, the rhythm of this game has been exactly like this drive.
Yeah.
So if you expected something different to happen, then okay, I guess, It's not like you're down on their 20, right, when you're making that call. You're in your territory. You get a first down. You're not busting this for a big play, and it kind of brings you back to square one all over again. This is a big third down, 3rd and 13 with 5:53 on the clock.
Prosper with the lone timeout remaining with 5:53 left. Take a look at the comment feed here on YouTube. Some questions back and forth about whether or not Jackson Arnold will end up as the #1 quarterback in this senior class. That's going to be a tough order only because Arch Manning exists. And that's going to be hard to outdo him, the young man on his way to Texas. Obviously, Peyton and Eli's nephew, Cooper's son, as ballyhooed as a high school football player has been in quite some time. But I'll tell you what, Jackson Arnold is right there in the conversation alongside Arch Manning and the other 6 to 8 best quarterbacks in the country for who's the top 1, 2, 3 guys in America. He's that good.
No, he really is. And I'm not taking this game and saying that he shouldn't be. I've seen too much of his body of work.
Pressured here, and he's going to be taken down again. Flag on the play. The sack by Evan Bish. Are they going to get him for a face mask here? Let's see where he got him.
Yeah,
he did. He got a whole handful of face mask. A really good defensive play by Evan Bish right up until that moment where he got into the cage of Jackson Arnold, and all that good work gets erased.
Yeah, but the question asked about Jackson Arnold, I will tell you, once he gets to OU and Brett Venable, and look, Brett Venable was the grad assistant when I was at Kansas State. I know him well. Man, he's a great guy. I would love for my son to play for Brett Venable just because of the kind of man that he is. But when he gets this kid in his offense, it is going to be outstanding. He's everything. I mean, the way that he throws the ball and what you just saw, what he can do with his legs, he's outstanding. He's going to take the Big 12 by storm.
Run here by Yusuf up the middle, picks up 7. Can't understate the importance of that penalty. If not for the face mask, that's a huge sack, and Guyer's having to punt the football away to Prosper. Instead, a complete change in field position and in how much time Guyer is able to bleed off the clock here with Prosper down to just a 1 timeout remaining. That is a colossal penalty in this football game that may have just ended, frankly, Prosper's ability to make a comeback in this game. Ahmed Yusuf trying to do that all by his lonesome here, upended by Carson McClendon, but another first down run by the junior running back who's had a very nice night.
And the plot thickens on how bad that face mask penalty was. I mean, we call it basically a bailout. Yeah, when you do that, you give these guys the ball, you give them a first down, and you allow the party to continue, as I'm sure Jackson Arnold does not mind. He's already gone for it on 4th and 2. A face mask penalty just gives him positive yards, and now he's in the Eagles' nest, trying to put some more points on the board.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line here for Arnold. Handoff, Yusuf met in the hole and driven back by Adam Dew.
Look at this shot by Dew. Man, goodness. That is bringing all of yourself with you to get that tackle on Yusuf.
And a textbook tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Comment from Pineappler in the comments says that they just got back from playing in the band here at C.H. Collins. Pineappler, if you want, you can blink back in the stream and you can see yourself. We carried the entire halftime show from you and your bandmates from both schools. 2nd down and 10. Arnold's going to keep it himself again. Arnold cutting back. He's got the first down. It's 1st and goal, Guyer.
And that's what you're going to love about this kid. In the read option offense, he's seeing the field so well and understanding that he can make a play. Only thing happens there is he slips. Otherwise, man, you know what kind of athlete he is. He's able to pivot and get to the end zone.
Under 3.5 to play now. Guyer can tick it down under 3 before they snap the football here. It looked like Arnold may have just signaled that they're going to call timeout here. Now, okay, with 8 seconds, they're back at the line of scrimmage. I thought that he may have signaled to an offensive lineman they were going to call timeout. Instead, he's going to take the snap, look right side, end zone, up over top. The catch is made by Landon Sides.
Sides says, okay, guys, let's turn out the lights and let's go home. That's the 7-Eleven connection that we've been waiting on, and finally, it comes through. It's Malachi Edmonds. Almost perfect coverage, but nothing he can do with that back shoulder fade thrown to Sides, man. And this drive was all just Jackson Arnold Express right here.
Both with his legs and with his arm. Flag at the snap here will go against Prosper on the PAT here. But Arnold with his 11th touchdown pass of the season, Sides hauling in his 5th of those 11.
That was a beautiful play. Beautiful play. With all of the film that we watched on these guys, I've been waiting to see that, and it not happen the first half. I'm just lucky and fortunate to see these two connect.
Stinson's PAT is up and through, and Denton Guyer with a 23-6 lead. Jackson Arnold right on the money to Landon Sides. Witt in the hand fight in the end zone, and Guyer on their way to 4-0. To the end zone for South Oak Cliff.
Our brand new color commentator, Heckma Harrison. Heckma, welcome to the team.
Man, I'm excited.
Touchdown, Randy Reed.
Next up, two of the top 4A programs in North Texas square off as Kaufman hosts Sunnyvale. Next Friday at 7:30 on the WFAA YouTube channel or on WFAA Plus.
What was a defensive slugfest through the opening half, Denton Guyer has now found the end zone 3 times in the second half. Ahmed Yusuf and Trey Joyner on the ground. Jackson Arnold to Landon Sides, the first passing touchdown of the day for the Wildcats, and they lead it 23-6 here with under 3 minutes to play in the fourth on Friday Night Football. You said it before we went to break, that was all Jackson Arnold. The fourth down conversion, a couple of other big runs, keeping it himself and picking up first downs, and then the big connection there right on the money to Landon Sides.
Yeah, Jackson Arnold has just done a phenomenal job playing within himself. Listen, he had that one turnover, and I love the maturity of the senior quarterback not panicking after he threw that interception, recognizing, hey man, I got one of the best defenses in the state. If I just stay true to this offense and continue to grind it out, I know that we're going to put points on the board. But let's also, number 99 Evan Bish on that play, man, he gets the face mask in tough territory and gives these guys a first down and continues that drive.
Javon Henry on the carry here to open the possession for Prosper. Give him 5 on the carry. Prosper with just 1 timeout remaining and 2 minutes and 37 seconds and moving here in the fourth. Down still 3 scores. That PAT from Fort Stinson was important in that regard to make it a 17-point game. Prosper needing, at this point, frankly, a miracle. Especially given the speed of this Denton Guyer defense, once again strung out, trying to run sideline to sideline. Prentice Sanders ran into the back of his own man, Braden Reimer, and once that happened, just too much time for the pursuit of Denton Guyer to get to him.
Yeah, I've seen enough of this defense to tell you, these guys rank right up there with the best in the state. The speed that they have on the back half of this defense, I don't know. You could have as many 5-star, 4-star receivers you want. You're going to have a tough time with this Denton Guyer defense.
Once again, running to the far sideline is Prentice Sanders. Got close to first down yardage. It'll be 4th down and a couple, and Prosper with no choice but to go for it here. As we look forward for these two programs, Prosper certainly very clearly has a lot of talent. Their defense is fantastic. They've got a bright future in front of them the balance of this season. They take on Rock Hill next week, Little Elm after that. Their big game remaining on the schedule will be at Allen on October the 28th. The smoke you see in the air there looks like it was chalk from the Denton Guyer student section tossed in the air.
I was wondering what was going on.
I think you've got about 600 LeBron James impersonators down there. I think that's
okay,
what just happened.
What that was? Like, okay.
So Prosper certainly with a bright future in front of them, and very likely, as we mentioned earlier, potentially another meeting of these two teams come the regional final later this season in December. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to, if this is how good Denton Guyer really is, offensively and defensively, a very real possibility of the 6A Division II state semifinal being Denton Guyer versus DeSoto. that game could be pretty special.
Look, I just want to tell you, man, this is a matchup that we anticipated. We built it up on WFAA. We talked about it all week. We had people out at the school for the pep rally.
Yeah.
It did not disappoint.
No.
It wasn't the first half that we thought it was going to be.
That's true.
Be honest about that. I think if you're Denton Guyer, you have to tell yourself, look, we didn't play our best on offense. Right now, 23-6, if this is the final score, they're going to be happy with this, but they're going to realize that they did some things in this game that'll get you beat versus the upper echelon teams in 6A. You got to clean that up. You can't have the penalties that they had. You're going to have to establish your passing game a lot earlier. And Jackson Arnold, as much as he took it upon himself to just lead that last drive, you may not get a bailout call like the one that they got on Evan Bish, okay? And they needed that, okay? But then if you're Prosper on the other side, you recognize that you just didn't have your best game. And although you're going to go home and you're going to be upset about this score, you're going to ask yourself, could we have played better? And I think they know that they could.
4th down and 7. The carry there by Sanders won't be enough to pick up the first down. And Jackson Arnold and company will be able to come out and kneel on this football and wrap up their 4th win of 2022. These are two programs that have big futures in front of them. And again, likely to meet again in that regional final as we've seen each of the last 2 years. If you're a Denton resident tuning in tonight, we will see you guys again later on this year. Not Guyer, but Ryan, October the 21st. Denton, Ryan, and Alito here on Friday Night Football. Another fantastic matchup. Two of the very best teams in 5A Division I. Next week on Friday Night Football, we are in Kaufman. Sunnyvale and Kaufman, a 7:30 kick right here on the WFAA YouTube channel. Again, kickoff at 7:30, pregame at 7:20 on the WFAA YouTube channel and on WFAA Plus. Jackson Arnold with the first kneel down of a couple here to round out this football game. Your reaction to seeing 48 minutes worth of the 5-star Oklahoma-bound prospect?
He didn't disappoint. I mean, he's absolutely a leader. And for everyone in Sooner Land, you got to, hey, let me just say this, man. I'm a Kansas State guy. So, I mean, when I talk about OU, it's just like I just tell myself, I say, okay, I got to do my job. But you guys got a great quarterback. He is going to be phenomenal in this program. He's so mature. A guy that's a 3-year starter here at Denton Guyer, and his leadership. And when we talked to Coach Heim, everything that he said about it, he gloated, and he just glowed talking about this kid. And so that's what you want to hear. Literally just saying that there's no holes in this kid's game, the way that he's built his body up, the attention to detail, how he is with his teammates. I mean, you're getting a quality guy coming to Norman, and you just can't ask for anything better. So many guys, you ask yourself, hey, you know, are these 5-star, is it overblown? For this kid, not the case. I'd add a star for him.
Denton Guyer with a 23-6 win. 5-0 all time against Prosper, and for the 4th consecutive time to begin the season, beating a team that was ranked in the state that week. They take down number 17 Prosper by 17. Heck, I don't know if there's a team in North Texas that can stay within 10 points of this Denton Guyer football team.
Now, I don't know either, but I am ready to see an offense that may be able to match up with this secondary. I want to tell you right now, as much as Ryan Yates, Caleb Rowe, Peyton Bowen, Eli Bowen, and Anthony Benford impressed me, this kid, number 8, Blade Carver, oh my goodness.
Kid played himself a football game tonight.
Oh my goodness. He plays the linebacker position the way it is supposed to be played, and as fast as he is, if you convert this guy to a strong safety or something like that, he can play in space. He's such a good tackler, and he's so explosive. Hey, this is one. And he's also a baseball player, which shouldn't surprise me either. But you know, this is an explosive linebacker. He's a big part of the success that they're having on this Wildcat defense.
December 2nd or 3rd. I think I know what these two programs will be doing.
What are they going to do?
Playing each other once again.
All right. Well, we'll be there.
6A D2 regional final. It would not surprise me in the slightest if we see these two teams again. As much as Prosper couldn't get their offense unlocked tonight against as good as this Guyer defense is, you saw the sparks of what has been against everybody else they've played this year and will be, I think, against most teams they play going forward. They've got the goods to be able to move the football and put some points on the board. And when you've got that defense that just held Denton Guyer to 3 first-half points, they're going to beat a lot of good football teams.
No, they really are. And this Prosper Eagles defense played lights out in that first half. They did a good job of making Jackson Arnold look average. They did, and they minimized that running game. Well, until that one big play that Trey Joyner had, they were holding everything in check. I mean, for much as we've talked about Landon Sides, he wasn't much of a factor at all in that first half. But it just was a game of attrition. That high-tempo offense for Guyer just started to weigh on him. And at some point, the bend but don't break, you're going to break. For the Eagles, just go back to the drawing board. They have a great team. They have a phenomenal defense that plays together. Offensively, I'm just saying, you have got to let Harrison Rosar stretch this field. I know you got those quick twitch, fast guys that can stretch the boundary, get around the edge, but you got something in Hunter Summers, and you just got to let this guy air it out.
You mentioned the run game for Denton Guyer. Trey Joyner and Ahmed Yusuf, both of the touchdown run tonight, combined for 232 rushing yards between them.
Yeah, that was the difference. I mean, and you have two guys like that, two low center of gravity guys, both of them looking for contact. It's not like they're trying to juke you or make a bunch of moves. They want to pound on you, and they just leaned on this Eagles defense for 4 quarters, and finally they couldn't take anymore.
Do stick with us on WFAA tonight at 10:15 as part of the 10 o'clock news. High school game night. Joe Trahan is down in Dallas for the South Oak Cliff Parish Episcopal game. Highlights of that one. Highlights with Jonah Javad out at the Brock Gunner game, a big 3A clash. Highlights of this game and an awful lot more on high school game night at 10:15 on Channel 8. Next week here on Friday Night Football, we head to the 4A ranks for Sunnyvale and Kaufman as we see two of the very best small school teams in North Texas square off. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, Director Clay Marshall, photographers Wade Reeves and Graham Rainier, digital coordinators Nick Blackhall and Paul Wedding, our graphics coordinators who did a fantastic job upscaling everything with our production over the course of this year, Nick Blackhall and Emil Moralda. Heckma Harrison alongside. I'm Mike Leslie. So long from Denton. Our final score tonight, 23-6. The Denton Guyer Wildcats, the number 6 team in the state, staying perfect and moving to 3-0. All our Friday Night Football broadcasts stream live and are archived in perpetuity on the WFAA YouTube channel and on the WFAA Plus app. This has been a proud presentation of WFAA TV.